that kind of stuff. So it's all about that. And people talk about psychological safety and all of that. I think that's boiling the ocean. That's taking it too far. We needn't worry about all of that if there are these guardrails in place and within that parameters. What do you think?
Yeah, can I just I mean, I think I've in this call, I've been a very much a positive optimist around the potential for AI coaching, and I continue to hold that view. But I will throw out a couple cautions. I mean, number one, I do think that we need, as purveyors of coaching and users of these tools, to be clear on how confidentiality is handled. You know, where is the data being collected? How is it being used? Whether it's being aggregated and whether there's some way of keeping anonymity, that will be really important to anybody that's using this, just as it is with any social media, right? So it's potentially risky if that's not clear, as you said, guardrails, confidentiality.
Yeah.
And then the other caution that's really doesn't come up very often, but it seems to be, to my mind, it is important that we pay attention to the data sets that are being used to provide content, because they tend, at least currently, to be very much based on the internet, very much based on information that comes from Western cultures and generated through, you know, whether it's encyclopedias or research or whatever way, Google, you know, whatever way the bot finds the access information. And we want to be very aware of what's being left out in terms of potentially, let's say, non-Western traditions or indigenous ways of seeing the world, or neurodiversity, for example.
Yeah.
You know, there is a risk that we will have a very narrow focus on normalcy in terms of behavior and what is considered the right way to do something. And we want to be careful that we don't fall into that trap, that the content is circumscribed too much. So that's something that I think needs to be continuously looked at. It's a low risk factor, I think, at this point in time, but it could become one over, you know, with ChatGPT, there's definitely been some use cases where, you know, the answers to questions to ChatGPT came back with a very particular bias that shows up in Western culture.